Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Choose Optimism podcast brought to you by Optimism International. Today we have Maurie Sheppard with us from the Optimist Club of Westvale-Waterloo in Waterloo, Ontario. Maurie, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, one of the things we always talk about in this podcast is the Optimist story. Tell us about your Optimist story and how you became involved in the Optimist International organization.
I was walking one of my children to school, and one of our original founding members started to chat me up, and before I knew it, I was the secretary. No, I was the treasurer. And I started back in 2001 and have just been involved ever since. I worked originally as a police officer, and 32 years of that community service, and I come from a family of service providers.
So this Optimist Club was a natural fit for you.
Yes, yes, it was.
Tell us a little bit about the club you're in Waterloo.
So we are a small club in comparison to many. We have 27 people, I think, on roster. Generally, you have about 10 to 12 people who are out there and active most of the time. And we, for a small club, do a lot. We run essay competitions, oratorical competitions, spelling bees, biweekly youth nights. We do Easter egg hunts, Halloween parades, and donate to just about everything. We run bingos, we do different fundraisers, and just constantly have a full schedule.
Well, that's a great thing about Optimist Clubs is they can keep you very busy if you have a lot of great projects and fundraisers. Now, you have a thing that you like to do, what we're talking about today is helping kids realize their full potential. Tell us a little bit about that. And
It, you know, Basically, it's all of the programs that we run, and kids will come to us um, as a base, and then I like to watch them grow. So, for instance, our oratorical or the essay competition. Normally, when one club holds these things, they will hold one competition, and you'll get one first, second, and third prize. Our club, what we do is we hold the one contest. Everybody competes at the same time. Everybody's judged the same, but then we take the marks and we look at all the kids in grades 9 and above, all the kids in grades 7 and 8, and all the kids in grades 6 and below. And we give first, second, and third prizes in each of those. So at least 9 prizes are given out. And it encourages the younger kids to keep coming back to get the prizes and to grow. We've had we've had more than our share of kids go on to win the district scholarships and then move on to the OI oratorical competitions. And one of the kids that I remember, and I've got several of them like this, but one young girl arrived. She was in grade 3 or grade 4 when she first came. I couldn't find it in my notes. But when she first arrived, she was small. She was shy. She was quiet. Everything about her was tucked in. And she came that year and she did okay. She wasn't phenomenal, but she kept coming back. And that's what a lot of these kids are doing. They keep coming back, and over the years, you watch them flourish. And it's absolutely stunning. By grade 10, and we go to grade 12 here, by grade 10, she knocked it out of the park and she was winning, but her family would go away when it came time for the district competition. So she didn't get to compete in it. She came back the next year, won again, but couldn't go to the district. She came back the next year, told her mother she wasn't going away, stayed, competed in the district, won, and then went on to Optimus International. And this young girl that was so closed and tiny is now like she's a force to be reckoned with. She is strong, confident, intelligent, and went on to university, did fantastic, was involved in all kinds of groups at school, and went on to get a fantastic, extremely high paying job, but realized last year she doesn't want to be doing that because it was very uh, uh, money driven and status driven. And she's realized that she wants to give back to her community. So she's now looking for other opportunities where she can not have to work 22 out of 24 hours and give to the community. And a lot of the times when I'm seeing these kids in the essays or the oratorical competitions, when I'm speaking to them, I say, you know what? I want you to keep coming back because I want to grow our next prime minister. And I've had a family who has, I had the older daughter and then the son who was only 2 or 3 years younger. And then when he was in grade 12 and winning the oratorical competition, his mother came in 6 months pregnant. So now I also have the younger daughter, just is in with the essays and the grade 5 spelling bee. She won the spelling bee. And the young man, the middle boy now, has advised me that he is running for provincial politics. So he may very well be that next prime minister that I keep talking about in years past. But just to watch these kids start small and grow into strong, confident kids is it's so wonderful. And they're community minded. They think about everybody and they think about themselves as well and to grow.
What kind of prize are these kids winning if you give out 9 prizes? That's quite a big undertaking to give out that many prizes and probably read that many essays and oratoricals.
So well, I have a raft of judges because I never want them. Sometimes we'll have 30 or 40 essays to mark. So what I do is I get a raft of judges. So sometimes I'll have 11 or 12 judges and everybody gets 10 essays and we try and mix it up so that it's not all the same judges who get the same amount of kids. It's randomized. My daughter has to do that. I can't do that. And we give for first prizes, it's $75 gift card to Indigo. And then second is $50 and third is $25. And we give them a medallion from Ansell's and we print off a certificate. And everybody gets a certificate. It's either saying, they came first, second, or third, or they did an excellent job. And every kid, when they come to any of the events, is told how amazing they are just for showing up. Because we put our applications out to, I think, 22 or 23 schools. So all those, and you look at maybe 500 or 600 kids in a school, all those kids are given the opportunity, but not as many show up. So all they have to do, and I tell the kids with the public speaking, you can get up there and fall flat on your face and not even spit out a word, but you've already done better than how many thousands of kids who did not have the courage to just show up. And I get a few giggles, and some people try and trip on their way up just to make it funny, but it's just amazing. I don't know how else to say it.
Well, you said mentioned that you had a bunch of families that have a
You've frozen up.
multiple children.
Yeah.
Let me try that again. You mentioned you had optimist families with the optimists that had multiple kids in the competition. Is that something that's really a regular deal for you guys?
Yes, I just had the oratorical on Wednesday past, and I had 3 children from one family. Great. So I had a grade 5, a grade 7, and a grade 9. And yeah, a lot of times I will get more than one uh, kid from a family. And all 3 of those kids were also in the essay competition.
So judging the essay contest is pretty easy because you just hand people an essay to read. Tell us some of the logistics of doing the oratorical competition.
Well, the oratorical, again, they're all judged the same. So I just have one panel of three judges and the timekeeper. And the kids come. Now, we've had years in the past where I had one teacher at one school who was absolutely amazing at getting her kids involved. And many times we had way too many kids from her school. So I had to have a oratorical for her school to knock them down from, 13 or 14 kids to three to bring to the main oratorical so that we weren't overwhelming my judges. But it's common that we will have 12 12 to 16 kids in an oratorical competition. Some kids register but don't show up. So we kind of count on that sometimes just so that the judges aren't there till real late. And we do it on a Wednesday night, um, so that the kids, it starts at 5 and we try and make sure everybody's out of there by 9 at the latest.
What kind of participation does your club have with the members doing these oratoricals and essay contests?
We'll have an MC. A lot of times our timekeeper is one of our own. And then we have another member who comes to do the registration. And then we have two members that will go back with the judges at the end to tabulate all the scores and we have the certificates pre-printed, but we have a label maker and we print all the names on clear and then we'll paste them. So they've got to paste them on the certificates and then put all the certificates in the frames and then bring those out with the medallions and then we hand them out to the kids.
So helping kids realize their full potential is really important to your club. Is that something that you guys do as a club together, or is it a couple people that kind of do it on the side for your club?
Do you know it's all of us. Like when we do these things, that's what it's for. The even something as simple as the youth nights. That's where a bunch of kids just come and they run like yard apes in the gym because at school, you're not allowed to run and be loud in gym class. It's all sort of structured, but we let them run and wear off energy. And they, at the end of the night, a lot of them are going home just sweating something fierce. And the parents have to come to sign them out to take them home. And the parents are thankful because now the kids are going to go home and go to sleep. So they burning off that energy is good for your intellect. You get staying exercised helps you intellectually. There are studies, and I don't know how to reference them right now, but just that physical exercise is really good, and it also gives the parents 2 hours of a free babysitting, basically, where they get a break and then they come and pick them up and they're happy campers.
What is some ways your clubs fund these activities? What are some fundraisers you guys do to help fund everything?
So we run bingos. We run a bingo every 4 weeks. And you used to make a lot of money with that. We make maybe $600 or $700 a month with that. We do an annual aerating. Actually, we do it twice a year now. We do it in the spring and we do it in the fall, where we used to do it ourselves and then we decided that was too much work. So now we have a gentleman do it, and instead of getting all of the money, now we get $5 or $10 for every yard that he does, and he advertises, and we advertise for him, and it's our subdivision. We have a subdivision basically that's about 2,500 homes with a couple of apartments being built up in it now. And he will go to anywhere else and do the aerating for them as well. So we have that. We always have a donation jar out. The Easter egg hunt, for example, the kids will come. We bag for 300 kids and we ask for a 50-cent donation. And the reason we've asked for a donation is because that way some kids who are not supervised won't just keep running through and running through and running through and getting all the bags. So we ask for the donation, but the parents keep putting in more than we ask for. And so that pays for a third of the candies and things that we give out for the kids. And we have Halloween, we ask for donations of candy, and then we'll bag that. And then we have the donation bin. We have 8 houses around, and everybody just the parents and the grandparents and the kids and the dogs are all dressed up, and they walk around the neighborhood to the 8 different places, and they get their treats. And there's donations at one of the stations. And the youth nights used to be self-funded because the kids would pay $2 to come, and then we have a bottle of Gatorade or a bag of chips for $1. And they may cost us 90 cents each. So we would get the 10 cents, but at the end of the day, we'd have extra money. So then we'd just go out and buy more equipment with it. So that's how that was funded. And for the essay and oratorical and the spelling bee, we twin with another club. We twin with the Twin City Optimist Club, actually, and they help us out with that.
You guys are a pretty active club, and how many members are in this club?
There's 27 on paper, and half of those are regulars coming out.
What are some goals that your club has to keep bringing out the best in kids as you guys move forward with this?
Just try and keep doing what we're doing, and look for any ways to improve, any ways to help the kids any way we can. Whatever whatever there is that the kids will bring up. We've started a junior club. We've got a joy club, and we help them, and they help us a lot. They'll be coming out at the Easter egg hunt, and they'll be helping us. One of them will be the bunny, and they we like to help them develop their skills, so that the leadership skills or the organizing skills. They organize their own fundraisers and events and movie nights. So anything to get kids to have fun and see people who actually care about them.
What is some advice you'd have for a club that maybe doesn't do an oratorical that wants to start one?
It is so easy. For us, what we do is I have a set of letters, a letter for the principal, a letter for the teacher, and a letter for the student. And what I do is I send it to the principal, say, hey, we have an opportunity for your kids to win up to $22,000 in scholarship money. I don't want your school to do anything other than let the kids know it's a possibility and tell them to go to our website. And and then I ask the principal to give that message to the teacher. Teacher is asked just to tell the kids it's available. And then I don't ask them to print off the letters or anything. I did that back in the beginning in 2005. But now just give them our website, and they go in and they read about it, and then they get the applications, they have their parents sign it, and then they email it back to us. So it's just let the kids know about it. And we put it on our Facebook and on our website, and all the kids who've done it tell their friends. So and you try, if you can get a couple of good teachers, that's just a bonus.
Have you guys seen a lot of growth in this program since you guys have been doing it?
Um, I don't know that I would say a lot of growth. No, because our club does it. We do it consistently. Our numbers of participants go up and down. We've been doing it now since at least 2005. I haven't looked at I couldn't find any records before 2005. And so it goes up and down. Other clubs, right now, we're in a bit of a lull. I haven't seen anybody else in our district doing it, but, or not in our district, in our zone doing it, but I've seen interest, just not as many people jumping on board. I've got more jumping on board on the spelling bee right now, which is wonderful.
What advice would you give somebody for a club that's going to start an essay contest within their club?
Um, I would really like to see them do and they don't have to give big prizes like we do, but send the best of the three categories on for the zone or the district, but reward the younger kids as well so that they will want to keep coming back. I think that's really important. They have to have some encouragement as opposed to just not winning. You know, I know winning shouldn't be the only thing, but it certainly does help, to know that they did well and to give them some feedback. I try and give them feedback when the judges will provide it. Try and just say, hey, this was awesome. Maybe, try developing a better answer in the end, like wrap it up a little better or something, whatever the judges will give me. And to put it out and just to let as many people know as you can, even the private schools, the home schools, all of the associations, so that anybody and everybody can try.
Is your club one of the strongest clubs in the district, would you say, for oratorical and essay contest?
In the district, well, if we're right up there where we might be, but I don't know about the whole district. I know our zone definitely. Um, Not so sure about the district if there's anybody who does all three.
What advice would you have for somebody that wants to, like I said, bring the best out in kids as they're moving forward with both these projects?
Just remember that every kid is different. Every kid is facing a different challenge. I mean, I'm an OC ADHD person. So I'm constantly on the go. And you may get kids like that who seem to be always on the go and always driving you crazy, but know that even that person has a huge strength. You just have to pull it out of them. And sometimes you will get the greatest results out of people you've never thought of because they didn't fit the mold of the sitting there looking like uh, a studious person. Everybody's got something to say, and just listen to them and see what it is they've got. They'll have something brilliant for you.
Are you looking forward to some of your oratorical coming up here shortly that you have going on?
Yeah, we have two young ladies that we're sending forward to, and I don't think we're going to have a zone competition. So I think they're going to the district. And I can't wait to see what they do because they're only in grade 7 and they beat out the high school kids. But they got up there and owned the stage. They just They were confident. They had the whole speech memorized. They walked back and forth. They looked at the judges. They looked at the audience, smiled. They were interactive. And some of the others, many of the others, were still reading off their cue cards and afraid to look up. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what these kids are going to do.
Well, I look forward to hearing what they do from you guys if you could hopefully give us an update in the future.
That'd be great.
What is the last piece of advice you would have for a club as they're getting ready to do all this? We talked a little bit before, but what is the biggest piece of advice you could give to a club about the oratorical and the essay or how they do them together?
Get it out to as many people as you can, as many kids and teachers as you can, and encourage them. It's nice to just hear them, but at the end, it's nice to let them know, hey, that was fantastic. This point you had was great. Maybe next time, see if you can't memorize the whole thing or find something and put a positive spin on it and just give them a little bit of encouragement. It's encouragement. If just encourage them and tell them you can't wait to see them next year. You can't wait to see how much they've improved over the next year.
We cannot tell you how much we appreciate you being on the podcast and sharing your experiences with of your club with all of Optimist International and hopefully to inspire some other clubs.
Here's hoping. I need more competition. I keep winning.